but you won't hear.
Live from the new kingdom, it's the OBDM podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Rich.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. My name is Midnight Mike, and I'm joined by Cratchit. He is over there on screen, yes?
Medications don't work.
I just got, it says there's new activity detected on my credit report. This is great.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know what the hell that means.
You want a lot of activity, right? It shows that people care.
Well, there's going to be activity because you're buying things and not buying. I don't understand. What does
Is this one of those scams where they want you to log into something? And
I see what this. No, this is one of those third-party things that monitors your credit and says that there's been a change because somebody reported something. So, whoopty crap.
Okay.
Oh, an account was reported to be paid off. Yeah, because I paid my credit card. What the hell?
Oh, man.
You don't want to do that. They don't like it when you do that.
I know they don't. Yeah, run that number up. They hate when you pay off your credit cards.
They do. We pay off ours every ding dong month.
Multiple times a month. You got to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We have, dare I say, a delightful show for everyone. Yes, we do. We have a lot of news.
Yeah, we ran the show earlier, and then decided that was delightful. Let's do it live.
Yeah, we did. It's so well. It's like, let's do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to do it all again. Everyone remember exactly what they said last time. No, improv. We just do it all again.
I made some changes to the script, so hopefully that'll be all right.
Okay. Well, if you think it works. Only if you think it works. Oh, boy. We'll see what happens. All right. We will. We'll see what happens. Okay. Oh, you said right before the show, you made a Skinwalker Ranch reference to 14 seconds. You made the 14 seconds
I did.
reference.
I'm not, that 14 seconds, we're not getting that time back.
That's crazy, man.
People probably, maybe they don't even realize I haven't been talking about Skinwalker Ranch, the most recent season. Whereas the previous years, I was a lot more up to date with everyone listening about what was going on an episode to episode basis. This time around, I think I'm just going to do one big giant review when they put out their last episode of the season. There have been
like a 2-hour segment.
It'll be 20 minutes. They have found some stuff. They have made some, I would say, interesting developments and discoveries. Stuff that I think that is a little more difficult to explain when it comes to trying to explain it away as like weather balloons and swamp gas. Yeah. But they have made some discoveries, and they have found actual artifacts. Some pieces of some interesting ceramics that they have dug out of the mesa, ceramics that have been, I guess, manipulated in such a way that they could act like a superconductor, and they're doing more tests on these things. And so I think next week might be their last episode of the season. So after that, I'll grab some clips. I'll tell everyone what they discovered over there at Skinwalker Ranch, and then maybe we can speculate about what they're rediscovering. And apparently Bigelow may have known about this stuff all along, but Robert Bigelow has kept his mouth shut and not disclosed any of his previous documents from when he owned Skinwalker Ranch back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So,
how are they doing with their Wi-Fi?
It's still a little iffy at times, a little patchy. They've had
that one episode they made a huge deal about how they were having trouble with their Wi-Fi.
Yeah, well,
that is weird.
I think they got the Wi-Fi worked out, although their overall security could be compromised. Like they have hardwired systems that apparently have been breached.
Holy crap, look at this.
So they've had files that have been written to like a hard drive that have gone missing.
What the hell?
So
Because they're just using like a shared Google Drive.
no, they got a pretty good. They got some pretty good stuff. They're using, I think, Dropbox. So that's some pretty good security right there.
I don't know. The most frustrating thing about that whole, show, that whole enterprise out there is the kind of like the lack of chasing down things using common sense. Hey, this thing's being weird. We left. We'll come look at it in 3 months.
Well, I think for me, the most frustrating part is them using too much common sense, and that they should lean into remote viewing, lean into the religious angle, lean into using meditation and stuff like. Stop shooting rockets.
All right, I think I'm going to put a rocket up through there.
They use rockets and drones a lot, and a lot of scanning technology. The scanning technology seems to be okay. The rocket stuff, it just seems like it's good for TV. They get to shoot rockets, I think. But there's got to be other things. But who am I? I'm not a scientist, and I certainly am not on Skinwalker Ranch. Maybe once you get on Skinwalker Ranch, you have this overwhelming compulsion to shoot rockets. Maybe that's just part of the environment out there.
Well, that's where the portals are. You got to shoot rockets into it.
They're seeing some weird stuff. They still see UAP. They've had some I would say low flying planes, it's low flying helicopters. They're getting buzzed. They get weird signals here and there. But we'll kind of go over it all next week at like a retrospective on what we've learned.
So how many episodes this season?
I think it's 10 to 11.
Wow.
And so not only that, okay, so they put out the 40-minute episode that they air on, I believe, the History Channel, and then they do like a subsequent like retrospective of the episode, which lasts for like 20 minutes, where they give additional insider info, almost kind of like an after show to recap what happened in that episode. So,
well, 14 episodes this season. That's more than Netflix does with their newest whatever nonsense they do.
Oh, this show, Skinwalker Ranch, it's a real moneymaker. They got to milk this thing.
I know it is. They're milking the shit out of it.
We got a lot of milk.
We got a lot of milk out of this one.
Yeah.
27 more years, and they'll go look at that thing behind the tree.
They'll find out, but
they'll get right on it.
We'll find out more next week. But until then, we got some news to talk about. So the Trump administration has been pretty busy over the past few days. They have released documents, transcripts, and an interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. And this is from NBC Nightly News. This is their take on the interview that the Justice Department did with Ghislaine Maxwell. It's just a nice 2-minute rundown. Here we go. We don't got to panic. I'll bring it up on screen. We can all enjoy this together.
We turn now to Ghislaine Maxwell, the longtime girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein. Maxwell, a convicted sex trafficker, has been called by federal prosecutors a serial liar. Today we learned what Maxwell told the number 2 official at the Trump Justice Department earlier this summer as the administration came under scrutiny for its handling of the Epstein case. Here's Nicole Killian.
Ghislaine Maxwell, in her own words, denying the existence of a client list involving the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
There is no list. I'm not aware of any blackmail. I never heard that. I never saw it, and I never imagined it.
The 300-plus page transcript released late Friday by the Justice Department follows a 2-day interview last month with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who previously served as the president's personal attorney.
President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me, and I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming the president now.
Maxwell had nothing but praise for the president, while her lawyer has made it clear she's interested in a pardon. She claimed she never saw any improper or sexual behavior involving him or any other high-profile figures.
I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way.
Did she say massage?
Never inappropriate with anybody.
Do you know whether, for example, President Clinton ever received a massage?
I don't believe he did.
Following the interview, Maxwell was transferred to a lower
once.
security prison in Texas. The release comes as the administration has been under growing pressure from lawmakers and the public to fully disclose the Epstein files.
Bullshit.
People shouldn't be hurt, but I'm in support of keeping it totally open.
Epstein was found dead in his detention cell back in 2019 while he was awaiting trial. Maxwell said in her interview that she believes he was murdered. But earlier this week at a congressional deposition, former Attorney General Bill Barr, who probed Epstein's death, says he still stands by his finding that it was suicide.
They should have done better.
There we go. Can we believe anything she says at all? I don't know. It's tough to know.
Well, I did see a lot of people who were apoplectic this week that, after she got moved to her, or last week or whenever it was, got moved to the lower security prison after meeting with the Justice Department. It's like, of course, she cut a deal. That's what you do.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that, like, why are we acting surprised and all bent out of shape about it? Of course that's what happened.
And obviously she's not trying to piss off Trump. She's not trying to piss off the Clintons because, the Clintons are a little trigger happy. So
Hillary will just straight up murder your ass.
So I don't know what we're really learning from this. I suppose it's interesting. I don't know if there's any new information. I don't know. Maybe it's interesting.
I will say I don't believe a word she says when she says there is no list. Horse shit.
Well,
they have address books. They have the black book. They've got videotape. They got all sorts of nonsense.
It's this wiggle.
And of course, it's not going to come out because they need that for other blackmail.
These are wiggle words that she's using. The FBI or whoever's investigating.
Technically, it wasn't a list, Mike.
Yeah.
It was a database.
Yeah, something. These are wiggle words. You know damn well that the FBI can compile a list out of prospective clients that Jeffrey Epstein, or not even clients, but associates of Jeffrey Epstein. That's a list. You can make lists out of anything. We read lists all the time on the show. And these are created by people on the internet. You tell me they don't have a list that they could generate from the information from everything they've investigated thus far? Insane. And they didn't ask her about how did Jeffrey Epstein win the Powerball? What was going on at Zorro Ranch in New Mexico? Why was Jeffrey Epstein so interested in reproductive science? None of that I saw was asked of Ghislaine Maxwell. It was all about these relationships where she could just basically give a yes or no answer when it comes to massages and things like that, where it would be tough to get her if you were to testify in front of Congress. Tough to get her on any sort of perjury charge because she was the only one there, or she wasn't in the room when Clinton was getting massaged. Like, you think if Clinton or Trump was getting a massage, like she would pop her head in and stand there while the massage was going on? Probably not.
Well, there's lots of photos of her standing behind other shit going on.
That is true. Maybe. Yeah.
Also, I'm wondering why they're leaning on the massage thing. Well, all of a sudden, is that where they're going?
Well, we do know Gore liked his massages. Al Gore
liked to stand up and drop his towel.
Yeah.
What?
We're doing it.
Look at my towel.
Calm down. Don't be so crazy.
I just understand the first law of holes.
Oh, yeah.
We need to obey the first law of holes.
I don't know what that. We never looked that up, and I don't know if we will.
Why do we have so much audio from Al Gore's massage visits?
I don't know. It must have been Ghislaine Maxwell must have been in a room videotaping that, audio taping it. But
yeah, weird how that works. Al Gore, first law of holes.
We need to obey the first law of holes.
Yeah. Right. So there is a Jeffrey Epstein update. We didn't learn anything of value.
Metaphorically. Freaking. All right, we'll bring that up.
Nothing of value was learned. Nothing was gained. It only probably annoyed people, which, that's...
Well, I will say this, though. As long as there's anything Epstein related that keeps moving that along as slowly as it's moving, they're still talking about it because it was very clear earlier this year the Justice Department wanted that to go away.
Yep.
They came out of nowhere after talking about it nonstop for years. We're going to do it. We're going to get this. We're going to solve it. We're going to look into it. We're going to release it. They came out like, yeah, you know what? There was no Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up.
Yeah.
So anything that keeps it in the public, conscious, let's say consciousness, yes, is good because it keeps people talking about it.
It doesn't exist, folks.
That's right.
It does.
That's what the Justice Department said.
It does, Trump. It does. There is something there, and everyone's asking for the FBI files, but I'm asking for the CIA files.
I'd like the Mossad files.
Yeah, give us all the files. So
You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it.
we're trying to feel it. Well, moving on to more Trump news, Trump revenge, if you will. This one is, I think, somewhat breaking news. Dear friend of the state, John Bolton, his home was raided due to a classified documents probe, okay?
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
Find the video from today about his raid. Damn it. Where was
So Kash Patel's, I like how they put this. This is from the New York Post. Kash Patel's FBI raids John Bolton's home office in probe over sending classified documents to family. Now, I believe I have a CBS report on this one. Actually, this also might be NBC Nightly News. Let's see what NBC says about this. NBC does hate Trump, too. So let's see what they say.
A quiet suburban morning interrupted early over national secrets. Agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation turned up to execute a court-approved search warrant related to classified materials, according to officials. Carried out at the Bethesda, Maryland home and the Washington, D.C. office of John Bolton, a prominent Trump critic and former national security advisor in Term 1. New tonight, the CIA director provided intelligence to the FBI used to obtain the warrant, according to a person familiar.
Oh, man.
Bolton's wife, Gretchen, seen at home during the search. Bolton was recently asked if he expected to be targeted.
I think it is a retribution presidency.
I know nothing about it. I just saw it this morning.
But President Trump today said he first learned about the searches from television.
I purposely don't want to really get involved in it. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. I thought he was a sleazebag, actually. And he's suffers major Trump derangement syndrome, but so do a lot of people, and they're not being affected by anything we do.
In an interview with Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker, Vice President Vance weighed in.
Classified documents are certainly part of it, but I think that there's a broad concern about Ambassador Bolton. They're going to look into it. And like I said, if there's no crime here, we're not going to prosecute it. If there is a crime here, of course, Ambassador Bolton will get his day in court.
Bolton returned to his home this afternoon, but has not made any statement. During today's search, FBI Director Kash Patel posted, "No one is above the law."
A source close to Bolton says this investigation may have been prompted by his criticism and his 2020 book. The first Trump administration had sued to stop its publication, saying it had classified information. Later, the Biden administration declined to pursue it further. Gotti?
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and
Okay, well, and a lot of the political pundits out there are saying this is retribution. This is the FBI and the Justice Department being weaponized against Trump's political enemies. This is unprecedented. This is a sign of an authoritarian government at this point. Meanwhile, conveniently ignoring that the FBI and the Justice Department did a dawn raid on Roger Stone over the fact that...
Well, not just a dawn raid. They did it was a pre-dawn raid.
Pre-dawn raid, sorry.
But they also alerted the media, so we have footage of it.
Yes, they alerted, I believe, CNN, told CNN to be down there so they could film the pre-dawn raid on Roger Stone's home, who I believe his wife was going through cancer at the time. And this was, I believe, over a perjury charge to Congress. So it had nothing to do with classified documents. It all had to do with testifying to Congress. So they had no problem using the FBI in a heavy-handed way, not but, 4 years ago, maybe less?
Less than that, yeah. Well, they've constantly been doing this, so.
So they do it, or they raided Trump's attorneys, all that kind of stuff.
They raided Mar-a-Lago, remember?
Yeah.
And they even, there was concerns that during that raid, the Secret Service might get physical with the FBI, and so the FBI was authorized to shoot at the Secret Service.
Yeah.
At which point you think some of the agents would have been like, wait, we're just going in for documents, right? Do we need to start shooting people? No, it's okay. But
so the precedent was already set years ago. Mm-hmm. This is like not new. This was done under the Biden admin. So for them to call Trump authoritarian, okay, well then conversely, you have to also call the Biden-Harris administration authoritarian for doing the exact same tactic and doing it first. They were pioneers.
No, it goes back decades. I mean, you had the FBI involved with Martin Luther King and, spying on everything going on. It's a constant thing. The FBI has been a politicized organization back to the 30s.
But, this is nothing new. And, by the way, no one likes John Bolton. This guy, I think, the Democrats, the progressive, I guess, wing of the Democrat Party, they don't like John Bolton. The MAGA,
he tried to pivot, tried to get out from him because he was on the in the first Trump administration for 14 seconds.
Yeah.
He tried to get out of that with all his TDS, but the left wing won't have, or the left won't have him either.
No, because he sucks, and he's a warmonger. He has been going. He's been just pining for war with Iran for years and years and years and years. And I don't know why Trump even let him in the first administration, but he wasn't. He didn't last that long. And the guy is a warmonger. He's not. He's just an old school, early 2000s neocon, a holdover from the Bush Cheney era, Rumsfeld era of just bombing anything in the Middle East. And he's an unpopular guy, unpopular policies. And so if this were to go to trial in D.C., and it might not work out favorably for him in D.C. if there are a bunch of Democrats on the jury, or at least liberal-leaning people on the jury. They might not like this guy.
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah. So it might not work out for Johnny B.
By the way, before you leave this one, I did drop a video into Carrot Shop for you. I want to say thanks to both Jigs222 and Tone the Bone for digging this one up. But we have some footage of the raid at John Bolton's house. By the way, can you scroll the image?
I did. I just fixed it so we could get a full, clear, powerful view.
I'm trying to base it on the bottom of the image, and when you roll it like that,
I got it fixed. We have a full view of John Bolton's beautiful mustache right there. Okay, it's
and I bring it up specifically because that is mentioned in this news report.
Look at that guy.
Here it is. I'll bring this up for everyone. Thank you for giving this to us on the fly, and let me bring it up on screen here, people, so we all can enjoy Bolton speaking in all his glory. I'm sure he's going to be articulate.
We seem to have breaking news. Apparently, the FBI has found the USB thumb drive they were looking for. Mr. Bolton was reportedly hiding it under his mustache.
Oh, no.
This is apparently the same technique he used to smuggle information in and out of the State Department. Apparently, it was President Trump who alerted the FBI to make sure they checked under his mustache. He said, and I quote, "Make sure you look under that son of a bitch's mustache. I never trusted that mustache."
It's very well done. So the AI of Bolton crying is very well done. Ripping off his mustache and finding the USB under there. This is incredible technology. This is really incredible.
I love how well done, how fast people can do this, how well done it is.
Yeah.
at a certain point, I mean, I know it was used to defend Biden during the last year of his presidency with the idea of a cheap fake, instead of a deep fake. But it's only a matter of time until something major, some major story gets hoaxed by AI, and it really messes with people.
It only leaves me with one phrase.
These computers, I tell you, they just get crazier and crazier.
Yeah. And it looks very well done. It's just, and also the AI voiceover, very well done too. If you're just kind of casually listening, you're like, oh, geez, Fox News is reporting something very incredible here. I didn't realize you could hide a USB drive under your mustache, but Bolton can do it.
Note the headline they used for that.
Secret stash found under his dash. Secret stash under his dash. Perfect. Very well done.
So I think what they did is they took actual footage from the from the news. You know, they took some still images or a couple of frames of his house, of the vehicles, of the the FBI, whatever. And then you ask AI to just kind of manipulate that, and it does where it extends or modifies whatever. And so that's why it wasn't starting from zero. It was starting with a good source image.
Yeah, it's a very well prompted video piece there. So, good job, guys. Proud of you. And while we're wrapping up some Trump news here, this is, I guess, Trump news. Here we go. I guess we have to be concerned about this one. We got to keep our eye on this. U.S. military preparing attacks on Mexican cartels.
But we don't know.
Why not? We bomb the crap out of other countries all the time. Why can't we bomb the crap out of Mexico?
This is
we could actually do that from the U.S. You could just stand up on a ladder and shoot crap into Mexico.
Yeah, but apparently they've deployed a number of Navy vessels down there, off the coast of Venezuela. But there's also...
Well, you said Mexico.
Well, yeah. So they deployed vessels off the coast of Venezuela, and we're also now going after Central American cartels. So it looks like this is going to be a whole kind of pincher maneuver. Who knows?
Venezuela is not near Mexico.
So. Well, it's in South America. It's right there on the north coast of South America, I believe.
I know, but I mean...
Yeah.
The world's big, so...
It's big. It's a big world.
Generic people are like, I don't know, Mexico to like Argentina is all just one thing. It's all just right there.
Yeah.
You can just drive there real quick.
Yeah, it's a big place, people. But moves are being made. The Trump administration has directed the military to prepare for lethal strikes against cartel targets inside Mexico. 3 military sources are saying. The top secret planning order is issued in late spring, directs Northern Command or Northcom to manage the attack plans, which are able to be ready by mid-September. Though U.S.-Mexico military relations are broad and cooperative, any military action south of the border is considered extremely sensitive for both Washington and the Mexican federal government and is rarely discussed in public. Well, isn't the Mexican government at this point just a figurehead for the cartels? I would say for the most part. Let's see here. So Northcom is already involved in Mexico in a host of ways, including combating the cartels. General Gilliot alluded to this in a recent testimony to Congress, where he said that his cooperation with Mexico is already closer than at any other point in time in history. So there you go. They're cozying up to one another, getting ready to do big things south of the border. I think there is some testimony here. Let's see what he says. We've got video here. And then, let's see. I don't know. Are you for? I don't know if I'm for military action against the cartel. It seems like, I don't know. It seems like bad news. Bad things are happening.
Objectively, no, I'm not. But, however, we'll go bomb the crap out of anybody anywhere else in the world, so why not?
Yeah.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this. This is bad news. Bad things are happening. But I'll play a little bit of this this general talking to Congress here. Let's see here.
Because time is limited. We had 225,000 in a 3-year space. Are we making any progress? Now it's 2025.
From our perspective,
has it gotten better?
No, I wouldn't say it's better, but I do think, Chairman, that we have a better foundation now, that we've increased the intelligence to make rapid progress against this threat.
It definitely needs to get better. And so tell us what you need. And thank you for your efforts. You got 8 seconds.
Money. Get them money.
Yeah, money.
More ISR is the first, and then expanded authorities would be required
I need more power and money.
More advise and assist types of operations between our forces and the Tier 1 Mexican forces.
What's ISR? I got to figure out what that is. So
probably what intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. I'm guessing. Probably sneaky peeky.
So ISR.
So they need more money for drones.
Oh yeah, you're right. So ISR is intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. So if he needs more than that, if he needs more ISR, that means he needs more money.
More money. I need more money for that, and also more money on top of that for other money.
Yeah.
Also, it's Larry's birthday on Friday. We want to get him a cake. So the Costco sheet cakes are expensive. So we need money for that.
Yeah, we want to actually get a cake from Target, which is much more expensive than Costco.
Ew. Does Target make cakes?
No, but they will for enough money.
You give enough, they will. They'll figure it out. I got $6.8 billion. How many cakes can I get for that?
Yeah. So big things are happening, and it's all happening is what I'm trying to say. It's all happening.
Well, are they going to be blowing up the cartel or what?
Well, we'll find out mid-September, which is not that far off.
What, they're giving them plenty of warning then? Is that the idea?
And here's the other story I was talking about. U.S. naval power approaches Venezuela amid rising tensions. So more action south of the border, people.
That's right near Mexico.
It's pretty close. Three U.S. Navy-guided missile destroyers are advancing towards Venezuela's coastline, and they are expected to assume strategic positions in the Caribbean this week, according to the Pentagon source quoted by the Miami Herald. This maneuver is the focal point of a new military operation ordered by President Donald Trump aimed at combating drug cartels in Latin America. So that's what they're claiming here, Cratchit. They're claiming our movement towards Venezuela with these naval vessels is also about the drug cartels. So you can say, hey, it's not close to Mexico, but this is what Trump is saying, okay? Bad things are happening.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
The odd thing about this, I think if they came out and openly said we're going to leverage the military to, in the sense of a defensive posture around the contiguous U.S., and attack drug smugglers leveraging military assets, which they have done at limited times over the last 40 years, but not in a widespread thing. I think the vast majority of the American people would be for it.
Yeah. Is the Coast Guard and its equipment considered military assets?
It was during times of war. The Coast Guard is placed under the Department of the Navy.
No,
but during in the last 20 years, it's been moved under Homeland Security.
Oh yeah,
so
okay.
They're more interested in making you take off your shoes when you come into the country.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It's terrible.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I understand that they moved it under the Department of Homeland Security because they have like that 100-mile perimeter around the entire country, which is the
Constitution-free zone.
Yeah, and the Coast Guard is part of that.
Yep. So the Coast Guard does engage with this, yes, but the Coast Guard is also relatively small. Why not leverage the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines to if this was a real issue, but clearly it's not because they're just letting it happen.
So how has Venezuela responded to the U.S. naval presence? Well, Venezuela...
Angry letters.
No. They have also mobilized, in addition to angry letters, they have mobilized 4.5 million militia members to defend against the perceived U.S. threat, although experts question their capacity to counter a U.S. naval and in U.S. air power. So, yeah, I don't know how effective ground militia is going to be against
air power?
Yeah. I would say limited effectiveness. So they say the key questions here. So what is the purpose of the U.S. naval deployment near Venezuela? According to this article, the deployment aims to combat drug cartels in Latin America and exert pressure on the Maduro regime, which is accused by Washington of leading the Cartels of the Sun. The Cartel of the Suns. So this is the Cartel of the Suns is maybe a Venezuelan drug cartel that they're blaming for a good number of drug running. So according to Wikipedia, Cartel of the Sun is a Venezuelan crime and terrorist organization headed by high-ranking members of the armed forces of Venezuela who are involved in international drug trade. That sounds like a great premise for a Steven Seagal movie.
Single-handedly.
Yeah, you got to send in Seagal to take these guys out.
Take them to the blood bank.
Where's my Seagal when I need him? Come on, where's my Seagal?
Kill him!
And that's not the one.
I want you to take me someplace where I can find some drugs and some women.
Oh, that's Venezuela.
That's how he gets to Venezuela.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you to the bank, Senator Trent. To the blood bank.
Oh, man.
We'll get a transfusion.
Listen to that acting. That acting
You'll
is
feel
amazing.
better afterwards. Keith Richards is there.
Some things never change.
Was that Seagal?
Yeah, that's Seagal. That's late Seagal.
Didn't even sound like him. What is that, On Deadly Ground?
I don't remember. He was definitely a little bit more portly in the movie when I grabbed that one.
What was the movie that famously he did about 4 or 5 years ago where he never got up from a chair?
Oh, was that the one he did with DMX? Bullet Holes?
Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?
Fuck you. Where's the whole clip of
Anybody
that?
see Richie? Fuck you.
There it is. Guy's an extra. He wasn't supposed to talk.
Well, the Cartel of the Suns is a real cartel, at least according to Wiki. And Trump does not like these guys. And they appear to be some bad mamma jammas, some bad mothers. And, they're, I guess, target of the Trump administration. So there we go. It's a real thing. And Trump is using military power to address the cartels. So at least a number of them. Not only Central American, Mexican cartels, but also Venezuelan. So that's what that's about. Like it or not, it's happening. All right. Let's move on. I got some...
Damn it, somebody deleted this video, but there was a video discussing how much Steven Seagal sits during movies.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, once you get to that level of acting, you don't need to stand anymore. Your acting days of standing are over, you know. Let's move on a little bit. I got a little bit of sad news here, okay? For people new to the show, just know, like listening, don't really know the show too much. I consider myself to be a little bit of a metalhead. I used to play in a metal band, and I like to listen to heavy metal music. And that's what it saddens me about this story. Ex-Mastodon guitarist Brent Hinds killed in motorcycle accident. Yeah.
Oh.
So back in the early 2000s, Mastodon really stormed onto the metal scene with their album Remission, and then they really solidified like how good they really were with the third release Leviathan, which is a concept album focused around Moby Dick, and just some really good hard driving technical metal, but with some really tasteful melodies thrown in. And so, yeah, Brent Hinds, founding guitar player and vocalist of Mastodon, has died in a motorcycle accident in Atlanta, Georgia. He was 51 years old. And so earlier this year, after 25 years with the band, Hinds and Mastodon announced that they had mutually parted ways. Although there tends to be some dispute about that, because in March when they announced that, initially it was kind of quiet, and then Brent Hinds, the guy who just recently died, he would go on social media and he would talk some shit. He would talk some smack about his former bandmates, how they couldn't sing. He would use some names to reference his old bandmates, and I think he did refer to them as horrible humans. And
horrible.
And so, I mean, it did seem like a band squabble. If anybody has been in a band, you know it can be very family-like. You might not like everyone in the band all the time, but it is once you spend that amount of time as what these guys spent with each other in a van, touring around, not making any money, you become married to that person, and it becomes very family-like. So I have a feeling these guys had a very brother-like relationship, and it was probably stressed and tenuous at times, but through that tension, they produced some amazing music, not just in the realm of heavy metal, but they also expanded out to do a lot more progressive metal stuff, some ambient metal overtones, and just overall amazing musicians and some really powerful music. And it's unfortunate that this guy died without being able to fix the relationship he had with his former band members, because I have a feeling that would have blown over. But yeah, according to the police report filed by the Atlanta Police Department, the fatal accident occurred at the intersection of Memorial Drive and Boulevard when a BMW SUV failed to yield while making a turn, colliding with Brent Hinds' Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Medical personnel pronounced him deceased at the scene. So I guess this person in the BMW SUV didn't see the motorcycle, turned left, I think effectively cutting off Brent, and I think Brent must have smacked right into this person.
So, by the way, this is. I mean, you'll hear people talk about loud pipes save lives and things like that, because motorcycles moving quickly and are smaller, and that's why they run their lights on most of the time, or should be. I almost T-boned. I almost got T-boned by a motorcycle the other day doing the same thing. I looked both left and right, didn't see him. There was cars parked there. There was trees. Visibility wasn't great. I pulled out, and that dude was right there, probably 40, 50 feet away. So it can happen.
Yeah. I see R.S. Harmful in the chat saying the band had him taken out. No, that is incorrect. I do not believe there's no point in Mastodon, the band, taking out their former guitar player. I so especially in this fashion, in a car crash, that's messy. They wanted to take somebody out. This guy was a big drinker.
Heroin overdose.
He liked to use drugs. There's much cleaner ways to do it than to do a car crash. This guy had his alcohol problems. He's a bit of a loose cannon. He's a rebel. But beyond all that, he was an amazing guitar player who infused some country and bluegrass finger-picking overtones into metal. Here's an example. This is like one of my favorite examples of what he did for metal, and specifically Mastodon. This is from Leviathan, and the song is Megalodon. Just thrown in that like finger picking, almost banjo inspired stuff into a metal song like that. It's just awesome, crazy, awesome. And so yeah, it would have been interesting to see what he did after Mastodon was completely done, because he had side bands, and but to see him give his full attention to something would have been quite astounding. So yeah, and this is Mastodon's statement right here. Mastodon shared, "We are in a state of unfathomable sadness and grief. Last night, Brent Hinds passed away as a result of a tragic accident. We are heartbroken, shocked, and still trying to process the loss of this creative force with whom we've shared so many triumphs, milestones, and the creation of music that has touched the hearts of so many. Our hearts are with Brent's family, friends, and fans. At this time, we please ask that you respect everyone's privacy during this difficult time." And Mastodon hasn't put out a new album since, I think, 2021. They're actively searching for a new guitar player, but it ain't that easy. It really isn't, because this guy wrote a good chunk of the music. He was, as you said, a creative force. And it's not like the other guys in the band are slouches. It's just this guy had flavor. And Mastodon, they might not be able to recover. At least not put out the level of quality that everyone's used to. So, really sad. I do have a little bit more entertainment news, Cratchit, if you please. A little bit more.
Sure.
Let's do it. This is a follow-up. Now, if you remember a few weeks ago, people were talking about the rumors that Howard Stern would not be re-signed to his mega bucks contract again at Sirius, and that all these articles were pouring out, and that even some insiders that were currently working at the Stern show seemed to be indicating that Stern lost his edge and that everyone was just assuming this was over. But in this new headline here, which I like, this is the interesting take, the inside Howard Stern's desperate bid to stay relevant as firing rumors rage on. So the gist of this is that Stern himself and his PR team were behind these stories, behind these leaks, in an effort to garner attention and controversy to get people talking about him again, which I could see. So he leaked it to himself, to the press, that he may not resign or that Sirius was going to undercut him, had some staff members talk to the press in order to kind of get everyone talking about Howard Stern again. And I could totally see him doing something like this, and it worked. It got everyone talking about Howard Stern again. So, yeah, Howard Stern and his team were reportedly behind the rumors that his job is in jeopardy. Allegedly, a desperate hoax was meant to make Howard Stern's show, the host, who's 71, make him seem relevant again. They're desperately trying to make things go viral to try to boost his numbers for his return, an insider said. So, yeah, when he returns again in September, they're hoping that this will get a lot more subscribers signed up to see what he says about this. Basically, fake controversy in order to drive up his numbers so he has more leverage to go back to Sirius and say, hey, look at all my new subscribers. Give me more money. That's all it's about.
I'm upset by this.
When was he last on the air? He said he's on hiatus right now.
Oh, I would say July or June. Maybe the last time he was on air. He takes very long breaks.
Well, I was going to say, that's going to be the problem. I mean, consistency is key to growing and maintaining an audience. And if you, because what happens is someone discovers it, or, you know, you're talking about Howard Stern, so somebody goes and listens and then finds out that he's just doing reruns for now, and he's not actually live for another 3 months.
Yeah.
Person may stop right there. So, you know, that's his problem. Like, you know, he's got enough money. He could retire, but, you know, it's a ego thing at this point.
It's all ego at this point. And he wants to stay relevant. And you can't fault him, but he is 71. He is 71. Like, how much more relevant does he think he can be? It doesn't seem practical that a 71-year-old is going to have his finger on the pulse of the culture and what people want to hear. He's lost out to Joe Rogan at this point as the go-to person when it comes to interviews and a cultural and iconic juggernaut who kind of can shift the narrative, shift people's opinions in a way. And podcast is just where it's at. And he shot himself in the foot by talking so much smack against podcasts and not allowing his show, even 2 hours of it, to be put up on an RSS feed to be called a podcast. Had he done that in 2006, 2007, he would have remained relevant. Had Opie and Anthony
remained relevant or not, I think he would have had he would have found a new audience and grown his audience.
Yeah.
If they were because I mean, how many shows do that? I mean, you get even Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore comes out and does a live stream. It's like 4 hours long, and they chop up like a 1 hour segment, or not segment, but a 1 hour version of it, an edit that they put a couple different segments in and release it as a podcast. And then you get people who listen to that and like, oh, I like what this guy's doing, and they advertise right there on the podcast. If you want to hear more, join the premium one, and you get access to the whole thing. How many people would have done that for Howard Stern?
Well, he did that, but it was just a little too late. He finally did that on YouTube.
To your point, if he did it in 2010, 11, 12, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a Black and Decker.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he really Black and Deckered himself. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's just it's unfortunate that this is happening, but it happens all the time.
WNBR. NBC.
Yeah.
Well, he will. I'm sure he'll come back. His numbers will go up a little.
Yep.
And then they will drop back down below where they are now or where they were in the spring, as he continues his fade to irrelevancy, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll retire with his hundreds of millions of dollars to his palatial estate on Long Island.
Man.
We are not winning.
And Al Gore, his neighbor, who will ask him over the fence if he can borrow cups of sugar.
Yeah.
And does he know the first law of holes?
We don't win anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost a sitcom. You got Howard Stern living next to Al Gore.
Howard Stern next to Al Gore, and maybe Trump would be that neighbor behind the fence that just says random stuff.
Guy
Stern, yeah.
across the street who's building some ostentatious palace.
Yeah. Constantly annoying Stern, but with the
he's always got contractors over
construction.
There. What's he doing over there? That nonsense. Because everyone has that person in your neighborhood who like seems to always have some contractor or something in front of their house continuously. So, what's he doing over there?
Well, he is Donald Trump. So he's plating everything in gold constantly.
Everything that comes in.
Yeah, everything becomes gold. Let's see here. I do have this story I wanted to bring up. I found to be interesting and disturbing, but also inspiring in a very strange way. So I'll bring this up on screen here, people. A couple going on vacation abandoned son with expired passport at airport.
Oh, really? But the kid had an abandoned passport?
Well, the kid had an expired passport, so the parents said, hell with you.
And they abandoned him, yeah.
An employee at the Barcelona airport recently recounted a totally surreal story of a couple who left their 10-year-old son at the terminal after discovering that his passport had expired.
Fuck him.
So an air traffic controller at the El Prat Airport in Barcelona recently took to TikTok to share an incredible story that took place at her workplace last month. Her day started normally, but while handling departures of a plane headed for Casablanca, Morocco at 8:30 a.m., she received an emergency message to ground the aircraft until further notice. Minutes earlier, Catalan police found a small child wandering alone in the terminal who told them that his parents had left without him. An emergency call was first made within the airport asking for the parents to come forward, but no one did. So the airport staff asked the child for information about his parents and realized that they were already on board the plane to Casablanca. That's when the Spanish Civil Guard requested that the plane's departure be stopped to resolve this matter. When the police questioned the 10-year-old boy's parents, their explanation for leaving him alone at the airport was baffling. The couple wanted to go on vacation to their home country, Morocco, with their two children, but there was a big problem. Upon checking their documents for boarding, they realized that their oldest son's passport had expired. So instead of canceling their vacation plans, they just left him at the airport and called a relative to pick him up while they hurried to catch the flight. Quote, his national passport had expired, so he was traveling with his Spanish passport, but it required a visa to be valid. Because they didn't have this visa, they left the child in the terminal and called a family member to come pick him up. The air traffic controller added that the parents thought that their actions were perfectly normal, but police obviously did not agree. The couple now stands accused of both abandoning their 10-year-old boy and causing a significant flight delay. According to the Spanish news sources, authorities will determine what punishment to impose on them once the social services investigation has been complete.
How old was the kid?
10. He's 10 years old, so...
And I'm curious about these relatives. Are they relatives like in town and they will be there in 30 minutes?
Unknown. That is unknown at this time. All we know is that these parents, when faced with a moral dilemma, they had the courage to make the tough choice to go on vacation, regardless of who they left behind. They had to get to Morocco. This was not something they could reschedule. They said, tough shit, kid, we're going. Uncle Rick's going to be here in about an hour to come pick you up. You can play Fortnite until we get back. And it was a tough decision, but they made the choice. They made the tough call, Cratchit.
Trying to find the actual story for this, because this is another one of those aggregators.
Well, these guys did it.
Bon voyage, motherfucker.
But this comes from a TikTok, and
Yeah,
I have
no,
no
that's what I
reason.
mean.
I have no reason to not believe this TikTok story. This does seem like a story that would happen. Let's not forget, this did kind of happen in Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin. They did forget their son.
That's because they counted the wrong kid.
Well, these things do happen. And
So they only had 2 kids, right?
But yeah, one got left behind. They took 1 kid. So they have a 50% success ratio of boarding a kid to go to Morocco. It's not bad.
I'm trying to think how old I was when I first flew alone. 10's young.
Yeah, it is. But this kid wasn't flying. He was just hanging around the airport by himself, which you could do it pretty much any age.
What I mean is, you have to, if you're doing that, you have to navigate. Nowadays, you get escorted all over the place, but I think you had to navigate. I want to say, I don't know. It's young. So yeah, these are shitty parents.
Yeah, probably not the best
Put
parents.
their vacation ahead of their child.
I would say they make tough calls, and they're not like a one-for-all family. They're kind of like, if you have the proper documents, then you can come with us. If not, you're staying here. And this is a lesson for this 10-year-old kid, personal responsibility when it comes to renewing your passport. And that this is a hard life lesson, but this kid just learned a lot.
I think this kid should have immediately cried foul in the airport, claimed these people were trying to kidnap him, that there was all sorts of shenanigans and things going on. They're trying to abscond with another child, ruining their vacation.
Yeah.
You're not taking me on vacation?
Motherfucker.
I'm going to get you guys locked up for a couple of days until it gets sorted out, and you get to ruin your vacation.
Yeah, you're going to go on vacation to a little place called Sing Sing.
You ship them all the way to New York?
I guess so. That's the only jail I know. Alcatraz. I'm sorry. You're going to Alcatraz, Dad.
Yeah, he needs to go to jail.
You go to that new Alcatraz. It's got all the alligators in it.
Yeah, alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, it's those are some top tier parents of the year there.
No,
it's weird that there's all sorts of details in this reporting based on the TikTok, but no actual story that it's being drawn from.
You think this could be BS
or just clicky bait?
You think? Yeah, it's made up for the sake of.
It sounds like one of those stories that you hear about. My brother's friend's cousin. This happened to them.
Oh,
when they were a kid.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been made up. Yeah,
This is bullshit.
maybe. I do have some horrific audio of David Lee Roth singing at a concert.
I've heard this. Yes.
You've heard this?
I heard this. It's not. I will say it's not as bad as Vince Neil and Tubba B.
I gotta agree. When you compare it to what Vince Neil was doing, this is David Lee Roth, and this is Diamond Dave. You might not know him, but for the younger audience, he used to sing in a little band called Van Halen, and he's an older gentleman, still trying to go out there, shake his ass, make his money, singing "Hot for Teacher," all that stuff. And I like him as performer, I guess. But this is what he sounds like.
That sounded really good.
I will say on that, I mean, he doesn't have the range he used to have.
No.
I wonder, part of that is based on the venue and where he is, he may not be able to hear the music very well.
Yeah, same thing happened to Perry Farrell.
I don't know if he's wearing in-ears or what, but so I think there's two things going on here. One, he doesn't have the range, and two, I don't think he could hear the band.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm not going to excuse it, but
I think he probably should have started swinging at the guitar player like Perry Farrell. Once you start sounding that bad, you got to blame somebody. So just start throwing haymakers at your bass player.
That's a fucking great song.
That said, we do need an entire song of that, though.
And to credit to Diamond Dave here, he's not using auto-tune, and he's not using backing tracks. He's like, this is who I am. This is what I sound like. There's no magic audio behind the scenes. He's like, this is it.
He needs to come out and blame the backing track.
Yeah, no one press play. There's typically a backing track. It's amazing. I like that raw stuff. I don't necessarily that's not the greatest version, but I don't mind when singers can't hit that note as long as the energy's there, as long as the performance is there by the band. I don't care. Yeah, people can make fun of it all they want to on TikTok and Twitter, but unless you're you've ever been up there and you realize you can't hear crap on a stage for the most part. You're basically going on feel. You can't really appreciate how difficult it is sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I don't really fault him that much. Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, I'm not going to excuse the performance, because I think where this comes from is somebody who's upset that they paid what, 70, 80, 100, 150 bucks for tickets for this, and that was their experience. When they're in your mind, you're thinking, I'm going to go hear 1984 David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
And it was clearly, no, that's not going to happen. The dude's almost 70 or is 70, something like that. But I think part of it is he probably couldn't hear the band well. So.
Yeah, they saw the 2084 David Lee Roth, and that's an old David Lee Roth. But unfortunate. But that's what we got. And then I do have a little clip.
I have a celebrity follow-up news.
You do? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a little celebrity follow-up news like this.
Also, not necessarily an uplifting story, but some follow-up news about one of our favorite celebrities.
I have been hearing some rumors about this, and I've been hesitant to report on it, but now that you bring it up, okay.
Well, I wasn't going to report on it either, and you're already talking about other people dying on the show, so might as well.
All right, we're doing the death watch here. Hulk Hogan's death linked to possible surgical mistake.
Oh, no.
The sudden death of wrestling icon Hulk Hogan was a surprise to everyone. However, the situation has taken a turn as investigators and family members now look into whether a surgical mistake played a role in his passing. On Thursday, the Clearwater Police Department released a statement confirming their probe into Hogan's death remains active. The detectives are reviewing medical records, interviewing witnesses, and working closely with the Hogan family. Quote, the unique nature of this case has required us to interview multiple witnesses and seek medical records from a variety of providers, and our detectives continue to do that. All of this takes time. Officials added that Hogan's children, Brooke and Nick, have been in communication with investigators and expressed appreciation for the department's efforts. And I think Brooke Hogan has come out and said that people will be surprised once they start reading the documents and we'll hear some audio tapes, whether it's like the 911 call. Like, people are going to be surprised about what they find out about.
Yeah, there were some comments before his death that he wasn't looking well, and other people came out and said he looked fine, but so there was, I think there were some issues, but it may be related to some recent surgeries or recent surgery.
Sources say Hogan did not experience the typical signs of cardiac arrest before his death. Instead, he simply stopped breathing, a scenario consistent with phrenic nerve damage. Hogan's wife reportedly initiated the 911 call when his breathing halted. Police body camera footage is said to have captured a conversation between officers and the therapist regarding the suspected surgical error. So I think maybe that's what Brooke Hogan's alluding to right there, is the body camera footage. Yeah, Hogan's daughter, Brooke, has publicly called for a full autopsy to determine the true cause of death. Well, isn't that the right of the family to call for an autopsy? I think it is. Questions remain as to whether his body has since been cremated, with conflicting reports. So who would make that call to just cremate the body?
Did you want it?
Yeah, I kind of wanted the body to do an autopsy. The same thing happened with that kid in Butler County, like 5 days after they cremated that body.
They cremated that dude like that day. They just hauled him off the roof, sprayed it down with water, and threw it right into the incinerator.
Yeah, so there could be no follow up on this crap. So if there was shenanigans here, then and it was cremated, I would blame wherever he was at for doing that, whatever medical facility. And what was he getting treated for? There's a lot of questions that remain here.
He's had a lot of surgeries in recent years, specifically related to nerve damage because of all his time throwing himself and his opponents all over the ring. And those guys live a hard life. Lots of hard fighting, hard farting, hard drinking sort of guys. Lots of performance enhancing drugs and steroids and all that. And so, but a lot of nerve damage because if you recall, in recent years he's been walking with a cane or was walking with a cane. And so I think that's what some of these surgeries are doing. But what they're saying here is this may have damaged one of the nerves that you actually is not manages, but it's part of the breathing process with the diaphragm, and that just stops, and he just stopped breathing and collapsed and done.
Let's meet at the Red Onion at 7:00.
I don't think that stuff's good for your heart. I think you don't eat a little cleaner than Red Onion. I'm not trying to disparage the Red Onion, but when it comes to clean eating, I don't know if they got it.
I'm going to be there tomorrow, and I'm going to work out with you. I want to show you a few things.
All right. I'll be there.
So not great news, but, maybe something will come of it. I don't know.
What is this place?
He's never been there before.
Yeah,
I've never been here before.
There's no Hulkamaniacs there.
There's no Hulkamaniacs here. Where am I?
What was that from, anyway? That was the early 90s.
That was when I believe he got thrown into the Dungeon of Doom or something like that. And it was part of, their skits in between wrestling match. So he was thrown into the Dungeon of Doom. And I think
they're mopping up all the teeth.
Yeah, I think he had to go face the Doom Master in the dungeon. So
the last party we had here in the dungeon, we had 167 guys.
A lot of wrestlers.
One of them was Hulk Hogan.
Sounds like a Royal Rumble to me going on down there.
What the hell's happening in there? 167. What? All right, so now that's a question. What is the maximum number of wrestlers the WWE has ever had in the ring at one time?
It's got to be during a Royal Rumble.
Oh, of course, yeah, but what was that? 167, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I would have to imagine.
I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
You should. The ring must collapse after a certain point in time. And I think that, if I remember correctly, during a Royal Rumble, the ring did collapse at one point in time. But we'll find out later. All this wrestling trivia is too much right now. We'll move on. Just one little clip here. This is of Lou Elizondo. He's talking to somebody, and it looks like Lou misunderstood what this person was saying to him. After I play this clip, we'll open up the phone lines a little bit. But here's Lou addressing statements about him. I believe this may have been on the Daily Show. This guy has a very hard accent.
Lou does?
This guy interviewing Lou.
Because he's washing his beard in a urinal?
Maybe.
You are intelligence officer, counterintelligence officer, you are a grown adult. By your own words, you're also a fact-based person. You've said that in interviews. You're also
Wait, what?
A fat-based person. But the guy
fat-based person?
But this is like the interviewer, he has a heavy Asian accent. So he meant fact-based person. And Lou tried to correct him right there because Lou heard fat-based person. And they just so happen to have almost like a close-up of his fat face on screen.
You are intelligence officer, counterintelligence officer, a grown adult. By By your own words, you're also a fact-based person.
He said
that
fat.
He did.
He said fat to his face.
Fat-based person. And
fat guy.
Hey, Lou's a big bone guy. No doubt about that. He's a hefty guy. You wouldn't want to mess with him in the back alley outside of his bar. But yeah,
just run 30 feet. He'll be winded.
Well, whatever. Don't let him get a hold of you.
By your own words, you're also a fact-based person. You've said that in fact.
You need to clip that, by the way.
Fat-based person.
You're a fat-based person.
Yeah, it's and you can see the look on Lou's face. Like he heard fat. Like he heard fat. And he's like, what's this guy saying to me? I could take him out in a second. I could pop his head off.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't get across that table.
Yeah, he could. Oh, he could take out that guy, no problem. Lou,
that guy would distract him with a picture from Google Maps with a shadow on it.
I don't care what you say about Lou. Lou could take this guy down, no problem. He could reach over, grab him by his little tie, and pop his head off.
All he has to do is throw a super high bouncy ball across the studio and say, "Look, a UFO."
Yeah, okay, yeah. Lou is easily distracted.
Stop, pivot, and run to Congress to report on it.
He is easily distracted. That is true. Mm-hmm. But be that as may, you don't make fun of Lou like that to his face. He'll take you down.
I'm going to ask him about spelling his name. It's wrong.
Okay.
Spells his name wrong.
You spell your name wrong.
He does. L-U-E.
Lou.
That's not how you spell Lou.
Well, we'll discuss that.
By the way, I do have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 14, which was 1998. The Royal Rumble started. You were right. Royal Rumble started with all 30 participants in the ring at once.
Wow. So 30. Like that's not anywhere near how many people have been piled in the dungeons. Nowhere near that amount. How many guys did we get in the dungeon?
The last party we had here in the dungeon, we had 167 guys.
167 guys? I don't think we need to double the size of that ring then, I would imagine. Triple it.
Way more than that, yeah.
We need an extra large wrestling ring. Okay. Well, people, we're going to...
Oh, sorry, correction. It was at WrestleMania 14. It was not during a Royal Rumble. It was just at the beginning. They had everyone in the ring who was participating in WrestleMania.
Wow.
So it wasn't actually a match. Yeah. So now I'm not sure.
Guess we need clarification on this.
It was so yeah. I'm reading more sources here. It was a tag team battle royal that started with all 30 participants, but then of course they left and they did their they tagged in and out. So
okay.
So it wasn't an actual match. That's the real question. That still stands then.
Well, you know, Mean Gene, I'm worried about a lot of things, man.
Well, let's open up the phone lines here, please.
Go ahead and take the phone calls.
I'm going to get the Google Voice up and going for everyone. If anybody wants to call in, Google Voice, yes.
Did you ever recover your old number?
No, it's gone forever.
Gone. Some lady in New Jersey has it.
Yeah, maybe and getting like people calling up.
Everyone
and saying,
call the old number now. Find out who it is.
Piss. People are just yelling at piss. I'm like, I'm being harassed.
Piss.
I'm being harassed by these people just calling up saying piss.
It's pronounced Pierce. The last name is pronounced Pierce. Stop saying that.
It's the Pierce household, not the piss household.
Piss.
The number is 513-461-2175. Yes, 513-461-2175. And you can give a call in, and we'll take a few phone calls before we go over to Cretched's Corner. Won't that be fun? Yes, it will be. Caller, you are on the air.
Hey, guys. Bob from Missouri. I've missed you.
Hey, Bob.
So I took umbrage with a comment Cretched made last episode about our asteroid that's going to visit us.
Oh, yeah? What do you say? What do you say that was wrong?
Well, Cretchen said we cannot measure velocity in people, and when I check in with ChatGPT, it comes out to about 35,000 Ryan Reynolds per second is how fast that thing's moving.
Okay, I don't know. So
it doesn't make any sense.
If you stuck 35 gorgeous Ryan Reynolds foot to head, 35,000 of them, and that's how fast that thing's moving every second. And it gives a nice little math conversion, too. So you know it's science and stuff.
I see what you're saying. Like, if you lay down...
You have to stack them together.
Yeah, you got to, like, stack Ryan Reynolds, I'm sure, like, head to toe, and you can travel...
Yeah, we need that sheep cloning machine.
Yeah.
For
how
Ryan
many fat Lou Elizondos is it?
Ooh, that's a little different math. Are you going to go rotund, like hemisphere to hemisphere stacking them?
Well, we should probably reserve Lou Elizondo for measurements of mass.
Yeah, good
point.
In water displacement.
Yeah, how much dust is that throwing off in Lou Elizondo's every second?
When he goes to the beach, how much does the ocean rise?
Well, these are fascinating answers to questions that no one's asking. Do you have any more fun facts for us, Bob from Missouri?
Nope, that's just missed you guys, missed your voice, missed your Musk, and have a good one. Pitt.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, probably prank caller.
I forgot to ask which part of Missouri he's from, the good Missouri or the bad Missouri?
Oh, yeah. There's two parts.
Yep, there's Missouri and Missouri. So
what
he said Missouri. I'm guessing he's from western Missouri, the KC area. That's my guess. Maybe as far as like Warrensburg.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi?
Hello? Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
This OBDM?
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Hello?
Hey, what's up? Hey.
Mike, you're just going to mess with people now.
What's going on, man?
Is this Mike? Did I get the right number?
Yeah, what's going
on?
on?
It's a Pierce household. Who is this?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Greg in Seattle.
Hey, Greg, what's going on?
Nothing much. I just wanted to say that this is probably one of the funniest episodes I've heard from you guys in a long time. I'm not that none of the other ones are funny, but I've been laughing out loud constantly. So
no, the other ones have not been funny. You don't have to be nice. The other ones were not funny. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Where would this one rank in the top 13?
This is number 3.5.
Okay.
Ooh,
I'll take that.
That's a good one.
That's all right. All right. Where are you calling from?
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
Downtown Seattle.
Oh,
yep.
South Seattle.
He's downtown.
I'm by the Space Needle.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
South Lake Union area, huh?
So.
Yeah, Belltown.
Is Seattle a shithole? Is there pretty okay?
Whole town smells. There's that.
It's in between. It's not as bad as San Francisco.
Okay.
There's a lot of people moving here. There's a lot of new construction. I work at UPS, and there's homeless encampments everywhere down where I work, and I don't know. I feel like it's getting better. I'm not from here, so I don't have a frame of reference from what it was before, but I don't know. I like it.
Why did you move there?
Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from California originally.
Oh, God. Okay.
And I lived in New York before this. I was in the Marines, moved around a lot, and then we didn't have any family in New York, so we moved out here. I have family out here.
Okay.
So that's why.
So are there homeless encampments at UPS? Because we know there's homeless encampments encircling most libraries and sometimes post offices.
And does UPS deliver more homeless people to the encampments to keep them stocked?
We have delivered we've had packages for, literally it says RV on street, and they'll give the address in front of the place that they're at.
And you guys do that? Wow.
We're not supposed to. It depends on which driver. If they're having a good day, they'll take it, but we have to actually deliver to an address. It can't be
RV on street. And are those packages like from Amazon? Are they like ordering Amazon packages to the RV?
One of them was an Amazon. A guy called in and complained, and I looked on it, and it said adult toy on it, and he said he needed it really bad. I'm not joking, because they have to label it on there if it has what it is.
Oh, really? Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, it says adult pleasure toy on it. We were laughing for a while on it, so we delivered that to him. We didn't want him to do anything weird.
Well, he's going to do something weird, so That's the whole point of getting those pleasure toys.
Well, next time you drive past 2nd and Cherry, flip off all the buildings down there. I used to work down there, and it's terrible.
Yeah, I took a picture of it and sent it in the Discord a couple months ago. You told me that. I called in a couple months ago.
All right.
2nd and Cherry. I go down. I pass it all the time. I'll take another picture for it. I'll flip it off and take a piss out front.
Hey, how long were you in the Marines?
8 years.
Wow. And were you over in Afghanistan, Iraq?
Yeah, Afghanistan.
Oh, man. You see some action?
I was in the combat engineer unit. Yeah, a little bit in Marja.
Building bridges and fixing roads.
Exactly. That's what we thought. Yeah, right. Bulldozing stuff down and doing route clearance for EOD, and I liked it. I'm glad I got out.
Do you guys have the tanks with the big flails on the front to set off the mines?
Yep.
Did you find it hard to transition once you got back to normal civilian life?
A little bit, yeah. I went through some things. I used my GI Bill when I got out, and that helped a lot. Going back to school.
What'd you go back to school? What'd you go back to school for?
Communications.
Okay.
Oh,
I got a bachelor's of communications. I know.
You have a podcast?
I feel like it. No, I don't have anything like that. I just listen to you guys.
Oh, okay. You got a communications degree. You should start communicating.
I know, right? Yeah. I communicated enough at work. I wanted to go to law school, but that didn't happen. So I just no.
Well, we'd love to hear you communicate more. So if you have any interesting Army stories, Marine stories, call up next time.
It'd be Marine stories, not Army stories.
Well, he might have stories about the Army and how much he doesn't like them.
Yeah, it's a huge rivalry. I'll call up next time and tell a story, yeah.
All right, cool. All right, well, hey, thank you, buddy. And take care there in Seattle. Watch your ass.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Great show. Bye.
They just got, just south of Seattle, they got an In-N-Out burger, which I did not realize was now building In-N-Outs in foreign countries.
I think In-N-Out Burger is getting out of California. They need to find new home base.
Yeah.
They're getting out. They're done. They're done with Cali. And so why not Seattle? Okay, Cratchit, we are headed over to Cratchit's Corner. Here we go.
Give me back my son!
I believe the agreed-upon name was the Crevice.
Cratchit's Crevice. Sorry about that.
So forgive my jubilant mood.
All right. So here's a question that people may have always wondered. You have professional sports teams in foreign countries like Seattle.
Yeah.
And they have mascots, and these people jump around during the entire game. They're running up and down. They're keeping the crowd hyped up. Makes you wonder, how do those guys survive in there, or gals, as some of them are, wearing a big, heavy, insulated costume during the heat of summer?
Oh, yeah. You'd imagine that would be a heat stroke city. You'd imagine. Yeah. That's what the robots are going to be for, is to take over our mascot duties.
That's a good point. You could have the robots out there at 110% energy the entire game.
So here's the real question here. This is the real hard-hitting news, is that how do mascots like the Philly Fanatic stay fresh in the summer heat? Vodka and water.
I love that headline.
Yeah, the Philly Fanatic is a classic costume. For people who don't know, just listening at home, he does look like a green, hairy, snorkel-faced alien. And,
pretty good description, yeah.
Iconic mascot, definitely. But you got to imagine this costume at this point in time, after decades, just smells like absolute balls 24/7.
Balls.
Yes, the Philly Fanatic has a boozy little secret for surviving the dog days of summer. Vodka and water. Hold the lemon. Not for hydration. He says he's a milk guy, jokes Tom Bergeron, who brings the Philly Fanatic to life. So he doesn't drink on the job.
I believe it's Tom Burgoyne.
Burgoyne?
Tom Shimabukuro.
Okay. Well, I don't know. It's But he drinks milk. Okay.
We got a lot of milk.
Tom, officially known as the mascot's best friend, works up a mighty sweat dancing on dugouts during Philly's steamy summer nights. Lysol and
Wait, and he drinks milk?
He drinks milk, yeah.
We got a lot of milk.
Ew.
That's if you spill milk in your Philly Fanatic costume, it's going to reek because that stuff is just going to curdle and start to rot.
Oh, milk was a bad choice.
Yeah, exactly. In the dead of a Philly heat, oh my God. Lysol or Febreze used to be the go-tos for keeping the stench under control. Most mascots these days order off the happy hour menu when they really want to feel fresh and clean on the inside. What does that mean?
God. Read the next. Oh, this gets worse.
Okay. Quote, now a big thing in the mascot world is vodka and water, Tom said. You put it in half and half, maybe a third vodka, the rest water. You put it in a squeegee bottle and you spray your head that way, and sometimes it takes the smell away. Sometimes.
So they're not drinking the vodka, they're using it to
as almost like a disinfectant.
You've got curdled milk and vodka smell now. And BO and mildew and
gross. Sports fans around the globe get their kicks from all costume creatures, great and small, that entertain no matter how red hot it gets under that heavy honker. The musky puppets take the field through the triple-digit heats, broken temperature records, and oppressive humidity that can wilt even the most diehard fans during the summer stretch. Yes, sweaty is the head that wears the crown, such as the Kansas City Royals mascot, Slugger, and regular costume cleaning is part of the mascot game. Of course, so is staying safe. How much do these guys make?
Probably pretty good money, actually.
You think can you ask ChatGPT, because it's just a guy in a costume, you know?
That's right. I guess if you mouth off, they'll replace you right away.
They're very expendable.
I'll have somebody else out here by the end of the inning, Mike. Shut up. You get back out there. You spritz yourself with vodka, and you get back out on that dugout.
But it does. Now we're learning it takes a lot of physical endurance. You have to be heat resistant. You have to be able to endure these incredible temperatures to entertain a crowd, to be the Philly Fanatic or Slugger. So I would say that
you're saying fat-based Lou Elizondo could never do it.
I don't think so. I don't think he could hang. I think this takes some physical and mental conditioning in order to be these mascots, to be the butt of jokes, to be able to endure the kind of ridicule and hate and the heat that you can face on any sort of game day.
Wow, this is a disappointingly low number, by the way. You want to take a guess at this?
$45,000 a year.
No, I'll say they're paid per game.
They're paid per game?
Yep.
Okay, $50 a game.
It's not that bad.
I really lowballed them, didn't I?
Well, you started with $45,000, then you won $50 a game at 162 games a year. What, 81 home games, 80 home games?
Okay,
that's a lot of money.
I would say $400 a day.
Wow! So the average number is between $450 and $2,000 per day.
Wow! Okay.
$2,000 being the very high end for Wally the Green Monster in Boston.
Why does he make so much? I don't even know who I know the Philly Fanatic over Wally the Green Monster any day of the week.
Well, Green Monster named after the outfield.
Yeah, I know the ball, but I don't know the mascot. And what about the Cincinnati Goofball? How much is he making?
I don't know. They don't break these down. Let's see. Mr. Met. Well, Mr. Met earns $200,000.
Oh wow!
Wally the Green Monster $250 a year.
Wow.
Let's see. Mr. Redlegs, $75,000 a year.
Wow.
I want the money.
Who did you want to know about?
Is I was kind of the Cincinnati Goofball. Is there a baseball mascots union? Maybe
that's what I'm wondering. Some of these guys unions, but Philly Fanatic is $200,000.
Okay, that's not a bad chunk of change right there.
This says a New York Mets job listing for the manager of mascot operations. is an annual salary of $90,000.
Oh, wow. So the mascots could make more than the manager of operations. That's good.
Well, I would think so. If you're managing talent.
Yeah.
It doesn't say how much you need for to be the vodka spritzer for these guys.
Well, here's a quote here. In terms of actual manufacturing of the costumes, they're just hot, Maxine said. In terms of how we build it or what we make it out of, it's how to reduce that level of heat. So they're saying it's top secret. We can't tell you how we make these things. It's top secret. We put basically a heat shielding on, the same heat shielding we use for the space shuttle on these things.
It's the same stuff they use on your brake pads, just made out of asbestos.
Let's see here. How's this end? Let's see here. It talks about climate change and how.
Oh, I see. Okay, it says here mascot salaries range wildly due to the nature of the positions. About $32,000 at the low end for game-only performances, and some that are more iconic, as like the Philadelphia Fanatic, who make multiple appearances and have a much more higher visibility as part of the team, can make up to $400,000 a year. So
that's where you make the money.
Yeah.
So they probably do have a scale rate for game appearances, but they're doing stuff at shopping malls. They're going to grocery stores and pushing people over and just kind of
delivering babies. General goodwill actions.
They're moonlighting as UPS drivers.
Yeah. Uber. They probably do Uber too.
Philly Fanatic. Can you imagine how bad that car smells?
The Philly Fanatic is doing DoorDash and Uber just to make ends meet.
Oh my God, that's got to stink.
If the Fanatic is out there running around doing his thing in October, all is right with the world. He's not sweating as much, and I'm not sweating as much, and the Phillies are in the playoff. That's the ideal time. Yes, baseball, October, hand in hand. That is prime time for Major League Baseball, people. Come on. Yay! Okay.
You think they're out there in the rain, too? Ugh.
Oh, God, yeah.
And that costume's not going to dry out by the next day.
But this guy, before he got to the level he's at now, he's probably had to knock over liquor stores to make ends meet.
Why would he stop?
Yeah.
He's got talent for it. No, I'm serious, officer. It was the Philadelphia Fanatic. He was in here.
Can you give us a AI image of the Philly Fanatic robbing a convenience store, please?
I'm still... Okay, give me a minute here.
Because we're going to move on to the next story here. And so, it'd be nice to see the Philly Fanatic doing some armed robbery because he's not getting paid enough as a mascot.
We better blow whatever's down there before it blows us.
All right. No, Critcher's working on prompts.
Dom's trying to do too many things here.
He's doing prompts. He's doing stories.
All right, so here's another story. We got a warning from the police. They say you got to watch out. You got to be aware of some crime going on here.
You got to warn people.
People leveraging a clever way to take your belongings from you.
Oh boy!
So be aware.
Let's see here. Edmonton police warn people to be on the lookout for a group of hugging bandits.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
Oh boy, hugging bandits. And there's a story with this. I will try it. This Edmonton. I don't know if we'll be able to understand their language. There might be a language barrier.
I don't think it's the same one, but I don't know. Maybe I did not vet.
Let's see here. I'll find out. I'm going to vet this.
This video posted on Yegwave showing a group allegedly unloading $1,500 worth of groceries into a...
No, it's not the same story. So police in Alberta say the public should mind strangers asking for hugs or sharing sob stories after 3 people were arrested in a string of distraction thefts across Canada. Edmonton police say officers have received at least 63 reports since May of people having belongings stolen while being distracted by thieves. 3 women were being charged with theft last week after an investigation also involve the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and the Canadian Border Service Agency. Warrants have been issued for 3 more believed to be a part of the scheme. Widespread criminal ring of hugging thieves. More are believed to be out there, says the Edmonton Police. At a Tuesday news conference, Shumingram said that the suspects are believed to be connected to similar thefts in British Columbia to Toronto. So this is like a countrywide string of hugging theft. This is not limited to Alberta, he said. It's a Canada-wide tactic. So the tactic, they say, is straightforward. The thieves, acting in groups resembling families, approach vulnerable people in places from grocery stores to parking lots to strike up a conversation, going as far as asking for a hug or having them bless jewelry. During these interactions, they say the bandits will steal the victim's jewelry and flee in a vehicle, often branded with a license plate from British Columbia, Ontario, or Quebec. It's an alarming trend, the police say, that is taking place from coast to coast. The Royal Mounted Police in British Columbia said several thefts took place earlier this summer, where a woman showed vulnerable seniors showered vulnerable seniors with compliments, while a male accomplice attempted to replace expensive jewelry with near worthless dupes. This is quite like an extravagant plan to get close to these people and then to switch out jewelry. So I guess they would be none the wiser. I guess they're old and stupid, not with it.
They're old and stupid.
Yeah. Ottawa police put out a call last month for the public's help after a man and woman in their 90s had their rings and necklaces snatched. In Winnipeg, 2 men believed to be part of a traveling jewelry scam charged in similar distraction thefts in recent months. These sound like gypsies. Are we talking about gypsies here?
I think there's that aspect to it. This is another one of those articles where they're certainly not going to go into what this what the bandits may have looked like. Or
I'm not trying to be discriminatory towards gypsies, but we're talking about traveling bands of people doing shenanigans like this. And this is like con artistry, sleight of hand, pickpocket, and now using hugging and emotional distraction in order to commit theft, which is, this is not just like a smash and grab kind of operation. This is con artistry. Asked why the CBSA, so what is the CBSA? One case in Edmonton saw a 70-year-old woman have her gold necklace stolen after another man told her she looked like a deceased grandmother. Asked why the CBSA was involved with the investigation in Edmonton, Shumingram confirmed that some of the suspects have claimed protected status. Oh, so are they indigenous people?
No, they're saying they're refugees.
I'm seeing the refugees. I see Canada grants protected status to people deemed to be in need of protection or who are refugees fleeing persecution in their home country. Mm-hmm. So they're saying that this theft is a cultural thing and that they have to do it.
But that's their dead grandma, Mike. They need to come up and hug you and take your necklace.
Yeah.
I have to do it.
He also said the thieves were, this also said there was a strong nexus between the suspects, but would not confirm whether they were blood related. This particular group is transient in nature, so it's very hard for us to narrow down on them because they move quickly, like gypsies. They're always moving around, real shifty. That's what he's saying. All I can say is that they live together and move together in most occurrences. They said that the thieves are exploiting people's trust and that the victims have been emotionally impacted, with one recent victim saying that she feels too traumatized to leave her home. Yeah, well, these Canadians are stupid. They fall for this stuff all the time.
They're too nice.
They really are. They're nice people, but they're dupes. Quote, "Don't let people in your personal space," he said. "If somebody is overly friendly to you, and trying to enter or breach your personal space by confusing you, tell them to stop and that you will call the police. Yeah. That'll
get them.
That is bizarre. Bizarre. Because I guess here in America, we're jaded. We're jaded that you'll just get pickpocketed, you'll get smacked upside the head, you'll just get sucker punched, you'll just get shot, and then they'll take your stuff. At least, I guess, in Canada, there's an emotional component to this of being conned, and yeah, it's
well, it's going to definitely be a cultural sort of.
It's a style.
Yeah, it's like they're friendly and all that stuff. So.
It's a style, That shit wouldn't work down here in America, I don't think.
Or you might get shot.
Yeah, I don't think it would work. But I guess in Canada, it seems to have duped a lot of people. So very concerning.
Like grandma.
Yeah, do not accept hugs from the Philly goofball, the Philly fanatic. He will take your wallet.
By the way, I'm not allowed. It possibly violates content restrictions to. I'm working on it still, trying to trick it to do it, to show the Philly fanatic engaging in acts of violence.
Well, here's the Philly fanatic with some other mascots.
But I can't show them in the liquor store robbing it.
They are giving themselves a little 5-finger discount at the liquor store. That's for sure.
So I got the San Diego Padre, got St. Louis Cardinal, the Chicago Cubby, and Philadelphia Philly fanatic in there, just helping themselves to the liquor store's register.
It looks like the word gypsy is gypsy moderated in the chat. I guess it is. It might be.
What Frightening Me typed in there was not gypsy.
Oh, okay.
Initially.
Yeah, well.
So.
Yeah. He's got the mind of a child.
Who runs Bartertown?
No one. Well, there is
Master
one person.
Blaster runs Bartertown.
Yeah.
Me, Hulk Hogan.
He runs
Not anymore.
Yeah. In our dreams, he runs Bartertown.
Who runs Bartertown now?
Who runs? It could be any number of people. But I think it's this guy.
Paul Menegay, a 7-year-old.
Big Jim Tucker.
Yeah, Big Jim Tucker.
That's the guy you want running Bartertown.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Alex Jones.
No.
His name's Pepperoni. Mr. Pepperoni.
Mr. Pepperoni runs Bartertown.
Let me know if this article paywalls you, because I got paywalled earlier. I do have a way around it.
I'm paywalled. Oh, God. I'm paywalled.
Anyway, so historically, I guess in Europe, it was very popular to go dig up mummies and eat them.
Really? Oh, I didn't know it was a thing to do. Okay.
Let's do it.
Hulk is on board.
He doesn't need much convincing. He's bored. He's bored on a Saturday. He's like, fine, let's do it. I'm trying to get this to archive, and it's not.
I already put the link in there.
You already did it. You already got it. Okay. Well, it's taking a second for archive to load. Here, I'll put it up on the screen. It's loading slow. My archive's loading slow.
Did you get captured? You have to
no, I don't
pick
think so.
what motorcycle. What's a motorcycle or a crosswalk or a traffic light?
No, I haven't gotten there yet. It's just still loading. I'm going to reload. Maybe my internet's slow.
Broke it. Did you break it?
I don't know what's going on here. It's not loading.
Well, let that tab go while we dig for an alternate here.
Okay.
So we'll go close to you. I seem to always find Ohio stories.
Mm-hmm.
So here's an Ohio story about a beloved local institution that is literally sailing off into the sunset.
Oh, really?
There's video of this one.
Hooters spotted floating down Ohio River after closing for good.
Okay.
Well, yeah, what we're seeing here, it does appear to be a barge with several buildings on the barge floating down the good old Ohio River.
Including Eldebarge.
That singer? I don't know if he has anything to do with this. But we'll find out. He did do the soundtrack to, I think, short circuit.
Well, he did. The heck's the song?
Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
Who's Johnny?
Yeah.
But here's
Here's Johnny was the Weird Al version.
Yeah, I like that one better.
And a longtime staple on the Kentucky side of the Ohio River staple on the Kentucky side this afternoon. The Newport Hooters restaurant officially closed back in June. Today it was spotted floating down the Ohio River. The Newport location, just one of 30 restaurants the company shut down after filing for bankruptcy this year. Definitely a staple on the Ohio River right
I wonder
there.
where it's going.
Yeah, how far do we got to drive now?
Yeah, can I park there?
Yeah, where's it going? I was just there the other day.
It's going to my house.
Yeah, that's quite an extraordinary.
Wait. By the way, the guy who asked the question, I wonder where it's going, is by very definition of what his job is, a journalist.
Yeah, he should find out.
Shouldn't that be his job to go find out?
Just go ask the barge driver. Go ask El DeBarge.
El DeBarge, the driver. That's his job. What is he doing these days?
They said after careful consideration of what is needed to best position our company for the future, Hooters made the difficult decision to close our Newport location. Well, it's not just close it. They uprooted it and put it on a barge.
We're taking it with us.
Yeah.
Hooters, well, if you guys don't want us here, we're leaving.
Hooters recently filed for bankruptcy, but originally said the restaurant will remain open. Well, that's a lie. The Newport location appears to be one of several that have closed their doors, with others announcing closures in Indiana, Michigan, and more. So it sounds, are we just hoarding them all in Ohio? So we'll just have like 7 of these things in one location? We're taking over.
There's one guy who's got them all.
Yeah. I got 37 Hooters in my hometown.
This is called Hooters Street. It's just all Hooters.
Oh, boy. Yeah, it's but sign of the times. I just don't know if people go to these restaurants too much anymore. What's commonly referred to as the breastaurant. I don't think they don't get the appeal like they used to have. You know, I think it's an antiquated business model. Although
you don't stop by on your way home from a long day at work. You know, I was acting as the Philly fanatic. You don't want to stop by Banana Hammocks for a daiquiri.
No, but there is one here in Columbus called Twin Peaks, and it is a sports bar, a competitor, I would say, to Hooters, and they seem to do okay business. They really emphasize like the sports. You know, a lot of TV screens, a lot of sports up there, and you know, a clever name, Twin Peaks. So it's not, you know, based after the TV. It's not TV show themed. You know, it's all about the double entendre. Okay.
Is Hooters technically a sports bar? I mean,
I know it was a wings place. I don't think it was known for sports at all.
I was going to say they just went straight up like, no, we're just a restaurant with gals wearing short shorts and tight shirts.
Yep, that's it.
And sometimes bikinis, depending on the local laws and regulations.
Yeah. Let's see if that archive link finally. No, it did not load. It did not load.
What did you do?
I don't know. Computer's broke. That's all.
Computer's broke. Have a computer problem.
Yeah, it's like on screen. I'll put it on screen. Look, it's just, I get that circle. The spinning circle. It's thinking about loading. It's not going to happen. So, you got one more story for us, Christian?
I got too many. We're going to do this one.
All right.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
This one will make you... Oh, did I just get paywalled in this?
No. Oh, my God.
It just wants me to log in. So this one will make you angry because it's something that many of us use commonly, and from a major software company, also based out of Seattle. And they said, we're going to integrate AI into our products, and but don't use it for what we're telling you to use it for.
Oh
no.
Okay. Use it, but don't use it.
That's exactly what they said.
Okay. I'm paywalled. I just got to sign up.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is it puts that big full screen like, sign up for an account. Well, now you are.
It took many years and billions of dollars, but Microsoft finally invented a calculator that is wrong sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I wonder how much money they invested in this.
Oh, really?
It's not AI winter just yet, though. There are.
What the hell that means?
I guess.
Is this someone trying to be clever? Shut up,
yeah,
Barry
I guess.
Pacheski.
I think what they're saying there is that the AI bubble hasn't burst just yet. So it's not.
Skip that entire first sentence. It's garbage.
Okay. Let's see here. It's quite a sentence. A new report out of MIT finds that 95% of companies' generative AI program have failed to earn any profit whatsoever. Tech stocks tanked Tuesday regarding broader fears that the bubble may have swelled about as large as it can go. Surely there will be no wider repercussion for normal people if and when NVIDIA, currently propping up the market like a load-bearing matchstick, finally runs out of fake companies to sell chips to. But getting in under the wire before we're all bartering gas in the desert and people who can read become the priestly caste.
I apologize for pulling this story from this dickhole of a writer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Go down to the sentences, or the paragraph starts with Excel, but read the sentence right before it in the previous one.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Let's see here. So Microsoft is the single most who asked for this application of AI ever seen. They're jamming it into Excel. Yeah, they're jamming AI into Excel. Yes, Excel, the spreadsheet program, the one that is already very good at what it does, which is calculations and data analysis. You put some numbers in, and it spits some numbers out. According to The Verge, Microsoft Excel is testing a new AI-powered function that can automatically fill cells in your spreadsheet. Using natural language, the idea goes, you tell it what you want, and then the AI will classify information, generate summaries, create tables, and more. Sounds like it's just fraught with errors.
Oh, keep reading.
If you squint a little or just look at this through the eyes of a person or company with a vested financial interest in shoving AI products into every nook and cranny of your life, you can sort of see the vision. Excel requires some skill to use, to the point where high-level Excel is a competitive sport, and AI is mostly an exercise in de-skilling its users and humanity at large. If everything works out, you'll be able to tell the program in words broadly what you want to do, rather than have to learn the formulas that already exist and have been in use for decades, which tells the program exactly what you want it to do. But there's a rub. Excel explicitly warns users that its AI function should not be used for anything like doing math or anything actually important. So it's basically saying, do not use our new AI-powered Excel for any actual work. That's what they're basically saying there. When not to use the Copilot function, which is Microsoft's AI. Copilot uses AI and can give incorrect responses. To ensure reliability and use it responsibly, avoid using Copilot for numerical calculations, which I think you want to use Excel for.
Why else would you use Excel?
Yeah, you could just use Word at that point if you're just documenting stuff.
I'll just write shit on a Post-it note.
Yeah. So don't use it for any numerical calculations or tasks requiring accuracy or reproducibility. Tasks with legal, regulatory,
or reproducibility. So even if it gets it right the first time,
we got lucky.
That function may not work the next time.
We got lucky. Just don't change anything on the spreadsheet. We got lucky with this one.
Yeah. And all the numbers are fine. Don't close it. Don't close it.
Don't use Copilot for tasks with legal, regulatory, or compliance implications. Avoid using AI-generated outputs for financial reporting, legal documents, or other high-stakes scenarios. Yes, this is the problem that companies are facing. And my company is, I think, facing something similar where they're over-promising the reliance and usability of AI, but it's, like I said, it's about 70% there. Unless you're doing multi-agent like runs for checking, which I don't think they're doing, it's fraught with errors. It really is. And it's really not good with math and statistics and probabilities just yet. It's not. They're trying to get better at math, but it's tough when the models have been built to guess what word is next and not necessarily calculate two numbers. I don't know. I haven't looked at under the hood at the models, but from everything that I read, they're just guessing at what happens next. Let's see here. If using Excel professionally is both an art and a science, adoption of Copilot could easily lead to a generation no longer able to properly use or understand it, while still somehow not actually allowing them to produce a usable result. Yeah, we're making stupider people. This is happening.
So, a friend of mine, this is his big take on this stuff, is he said he's fine with all these things that automatically figure stuff out or automatically do the math, or you use natural language dictation and processing to say, like, hey, just take these numbers and what's the most common one, whatever you're doing, and you look at my results of my bid documents and give me the average bid and what's the average delta between the highest and the lowest, and blah blah blah. So I understand the concept of being able to do that in Excel, but to your point, then you won't know what Excel is actually doing. So how do you know if A, the results you're getting are correct, and B, how are you going to go in and make any changes to that yourself if you want to tweak it slightly? You just can't do it.
And this is the same problem with vibe coding and asking like ChatGPT or any of these AIs to give you a Python script that will automate something to do with like an MP3 or a video file or even create an API, is that when they get it wrong, you won't know why it's wrong. You might have some error output that you can re-put back in, and eventually you might be able to solve it with enough trial and error, but it's not going to catch a lot of things. It doesn't think a lot of things through. It will leave in code that it no longer need, but you don't know, you no longer need it, and it'll leave it in there. And unless you're pretty savvy with the coding language, you are going to be up shit's creek, and you're going to have a mess of spaghetti code and useless functions in there. And unless you can call BS, it's not handy.
Well, or even let's go as positive as possible. What you put together with your vibe code, with your spaghetti code, and it works fine. It goes into production and things are great. And then a year later, you need to go back in and make some changes, some adjustments. You need to chase down a bug. A, you didn't write that code, so good luck finding anything. And B, you're not familiar with the structure. You're not familiar with the calls. It's just like you have to start entirely from scratch. You're not going to be able to get in there and make meaningful adjustments to something that you didn't build in the first place because it doesn't follow any logical process.
Computer's broke.
And the computer's broke.
And that's what you're going to be left with. You're going to be left saying that. So
that's literally going to be your response to your boss on that one. Yeah, computer's broke.
Computer's broke.
I'm not sure if that's going to go over well. I mean, you can try it.
Well, yeah. This whole AI thing is going to culminate with a generation of kids who don't know anything, and CEOs that are going to try to shove AI into everything, and we're going to have a bunch of broken systems, and no one's going to know how to fix anything, and it's going to be a shit show in 2030.
But I've been trying to get better versions here, speaking of AI. So if you look at this newest one, this one's pretty decent.
That's pretty good. Oh yeah, the Philly fanatic busting up a liquor store. He brought his mascot buddies. Trying to help do some damage, get some money, get a little extra money on the side.
So if you are an MLB mascot and running a little dry, you might want to start knocking over liquor stores.
Yeah, start knocking over. And plus, they're air conditioned in there, so cool off.
You can cool off while you're in there.
Yeah,
and you need some more vodka spritzer to tamp down the smell of the rotting curdled milk and BO soaked costume you're standing in.
Awful.
I think when they walk around, their feet like make a squishy noise.
Of course it does. And you know they're naked under there. You know they are. They're not going to wear clothing under that. It's hot.
He's just wearing a dance belt and nothing else.
That's it. They're probably wearing like a banana hammock, and that's it. These guys they're hardcore.
Well, look at that sack of filth.
Or, alternatively, if they need a little money on the side, maybe they should become experts in Excel.
That could work too.
Because soon enough, no one's going to know how it works.
No. Just like what No Agenda was talking about in the previous shows, like we don't have enough electricians and plumbers. Well, there's an opportunity there, and we're not going to have enough people that know Excel formulas. There's going to be an opportunity there. Well, hey, thank you everyone for hanging out during our Saturday show. We'll most likely be back on Wednesday, and most likely, I'm saying it's probably going to happen. Most likely.
Unless that Ryan Reynolds shaped asteroid smacks into us.
Oh, we got a few months to worry before that happens. So you don't have to worry about that for a few months. So don't worry about that. All right. Thank you, Cratchit. Thank you, everyone. Shablagoo.
Keep watching the skis. That mascot stinks.
Throw it all.
Size matters.
South Carolina, and Oklahoma, and Arizona, and North Dakota, and New Mexico.
You get the picture.
That's about all.
Shablagoo.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Well, now you know the rest of the story.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
That's it. I'm done today.